Hello, I'm Dr. Barbara Bolen. Welcome to another edition of my video blog. Today what I'm going to talk about is the warming foods of soups, squashes, and slow cooker meals. But before I begin, let me just talk to you about the opposite, raw food people. Have you ever met anybody who's a raw food person? I have to say, whenever I see one, interact with one, I really am impressed. They look so healthy, they have so much energy, they're so vibrant, there really is something to it. Probably the most famous raw advocate is David Wolfe. You may have seen the guy with the dreadlocks who does those infomercials on the NutriBullet. There's also that famous supermodel, Carol Alt, who I actually knew back when I was younger. That's a whole other story. I think she wrote a book on how the raw food diet for beauty or something along those lines. So yeah, they look great. They look so vibrant. They look so healthy. But I could never be a raw food person for two reasons. Number one, I don't really like raw vegetables. That could be a problem. And number two, I live in New York. It gets cold. It's cold here maybe, I don't know, 5 months out of the year. It gets cold. So in the summer, I can sort of be a pseudo raw food person because I can drink my raw vegetables. I can juice them, I can put them in smoothies. But the winter comes, even the fall, the days start to get cool, and a cold smoothie is not calling my name. So instead, I want to talk to you about the great benefits of warming foods. So let's start with soups. Vegetable soups are awesome things. They are jam-packed with so many nutrients. You can get so many delicious vegetables into a soup. So vegetables I normally wouldn't really enjoy eating raw. Put them in a soup with a little broth and it's heaven on a plate or a bowl. Mm-hmm. If you have IBS, I think vegetable soups are a winner. Why? Because since the veggies are kind of, already softened by simmering away in your soup, they're just so much easier on the digestive system. And the great thing about soups is because you can put in such a wide variety of vegetables, you really are nourishing and nurturing that gut bacteria, which is so good for the health of your belly, so good for digestive symptoms, and so good for your immune system. The only downside to soup is it takes a lot of time to make vegetable soup. It just does. Or you can put meat if you like meat in your soup, but I'm just saying. In any case, it takes time to make soup. So the only way around that is that you have to make it an enjoyable activity. Make it like a hobby. So what I like to do when I make soup is I put on some really good music, I light a candle, I know I'm going to be in the kitchen for a while. What I also love to do when I make soup is I put all the ingredients out around me. Therefore, as I'm doing all that chopping and preparing, I am looking at this beautiful array, this great bounty that nature provides for us. As you know, I'm a big composter, and for many reasons, it nourishes my garden and my garden nourishes me. But the more immediate gratitude in a compost pile is that, particularly when I make a soup, I get to see all the different colors and textures of the foods that I know are going to be nourishing myself. And if my family's brave enough to want to enjoy my soup, it would be nourishing my family as well. So really take your time when you make your soup. Make it an enjoyable event. Enjoy cutting up your veggies. Look at all those different colors. Be grateful for what nature provides and the bounty that we're able to bring into our own homes. And then the last gold nugget in making soup is the notion of alchemy. So alchemy, I guess, is originally when you turn rock into gold. Well, when you take your kitchen and it's filled with, all these piles of veggies, and then at the end you have this beautiful soup where all the flavors and colors have all kind of melded together, that's alchemy. It's just beautiful. The last benefit of soup is, there's two more benefits. I keep thinking of all these great things about soup. And that is, it's so freezable. So I will make a big double recipe pot, and then I freeze them into portions that would give me maybe 2 lunches, 3 lunches. And so whenever I don't have Barbara-friendly food in the fridge, I can always just pull out one of my things of soup, and I know that I'm going to have a good, nourishing, nutritious meal. The other good thing about soup, this is where I say, where's my teleprompter? Because I go a little blank, but I know I told you I had 2 more good things about soup. And that is, I know what it is. Soup is versatile. Soup for breakfast is a wonderful thing, and I know you have to think out of the box. You know, breakfast is supposed to be eggs. Breakfast is supposed to be pancakes. For too many people, breakfast is a breakfast sandwich from a fast food place. Soup for breakfast is amazing. It warms you, ready to go out to face the brisk days of fall and winter. And just do me a favor. The next time you have a nice homemade vegetable soup, or you just order a great vegetable soup at a restaurant, pay close attention to how your body and your belly feels after. For me, when I have soup, whether it's for breakfast, whether it's for lunch, or whether it's for dinner, I just can feel the warmth of the soup just sort of transferring itself to all of my other cells in my body. It just is such a peaceful, satisfying feeling. Feels great. So take the time, make your soup, freeze your soup, enjoy it. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, just do it. Okay, next I want to talk about squash. So I got a little put on this squash craze this season because my friend and wonderful health coach, Katie Hassong, posted a recipe for acorn squash on her blog. I am going to have the link for you down below in this blog post, so you can also take advantage of it. It cannot be easier to roast squash. The hardest thing is maybe you have to cut it, but it's not all the slicing and dicing that goes into a soup. With a squash, you just kind of cut it, put a little oil on it, and you put it in the oven 20 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on the recipe, depending on the kind of squash, and you forget about it. That's it. You cut it, little oil in the oven, done. But what comes out is this, again, versatile meal. So I have been enjoying squash for breakfast or squash for lunch. I could have it as a side dish for dinner, but I always have other things for dinner, and so I'm always looking for breakfasts and lunches that are easy and make me feel great. So once I've roasted my squash, it's in the fridge waiting for me. All I have to do is pop in the oven for like another 10 minutes, reheat it, and I have a satisfying, warming, nutritious breakfast or a satisfying, nutritious, warming lunch. And similar to soup, when I eat squash, my body is grateful. My belly feels good, it feels happy, it feels satisfied. And the interesting thing about squash, so that's like a one ingredient meal, but I stay satisfied for a really long time. I don't really get hungry for a long time after eating a squash. I don't know why, but it's great. And so for those of you who are trying to cut back on sugar or trying to lose weight, squash is a sweet vegetable. So it's a great way to sort of get sweets into your body to satisfy that sweet tooth, but in a way that doesn't, cause all those blood sugar rises and falls and crashes and ups and downs and cravings that you get from refined sugar. So enjoy your squash. The only downside of squash is not a lot of them have been tested by Monash University. So if you have IBS, you may have to be a little bit more careful in terms of trying out how you do with squash. See how much you can eat, see how your body does with it, see if your body can tolerate it. Hopefully you can, because it's super easy and super nutritious. And for me, my belly, super satisfying. Last, let's get into slow cooker meals. Whoever invented the slow cooker, my goodness, I am grateful. I have many reasons why slow cookers are awesome. Number one, slow cookers can be used for all whole food ingredients. Potatoes, vegetables, meat, chicken, nothing processed. Just whole foods, great whole foods. Again, similar to soups, slow cookers are a great way to enjoy digestible vegetables. Put them in there. What I love about slow cooker, it's like a meal all in one. And if I put it together in the morning, maybe I have to prep my veggies the night before, kind of depends on my schedule. Put it together in the morning, particularly like on a Sunday, dinner is just bubbling away all day long. The house smells amazing. I am free to enjoy my day. And then it's like being in a restaurant. Here's this meal. I didn't have to cook it. I did theoretically in the morning. I chopped things, but there it is, hot and bubbly and waiting for me. And if you like rice or you can tolerate rice, I would recommend getting a rice cooker. I think I have a blog on that. You can search my site for my rice cooker blog. So if you don't put potatoes in your slow cooker recipe, you can use rice. You have the rice cooking alongside, and again, it's like you have a cook in the kitchen. You just set everything up. cooks itself and you have this great satisfying meal. All right, so it is soup, squash, slow cooker season. Stay warm, be nourished, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.